Hi, I'm Vanessa with Ellie and Mac, and I am so excited to be back in my sewing room. I just got home from my Alaskan cruise, and I'm going to show you all my Ellie and Mac patterns that I wore, as well as the souvenirs we made when we got home. So Alaska is beautiful. I cannot believe how beautiful it is. But packing for it was kind of difficult. It's a temperate rainforest. So not only are you packing for rainy weather, cold weather, but it got kind of warm some days. So I had to cover all my bases with what I packed. But we only had 2 checked baggage for a family of 4. So room was pretty tight. One thing that helped us save room was actually buying iron-on patches on our vacation that we brought home to make hoodies. So that gave us a little extra space for some of those nice attire days that you needed on the ship. So let me run through all the things that I wore, and then I'm going to show you how you can take the oversized tee and make it not only a hoodie for your 13-year-old daughter like I have, but also for my husband and my son. And I'm also going to show you one of my favorite patterns that Ellie and Mac has.
So here with embarkation day, I wanted something that was comfortable so I could be easily moving around the ship. So I wore my everyday tee that I modified without the neckband, as well as my jasmine jogger. This is a maxi version and I love the pockets. It was so comfortable and perfect for this warmer day. My first full day on the ship, I wore my Chapman button down. I didn't actually add buttonholes. I'm wearing this as a shirt, and I paired it with a pair of leggings. I packed a few leggings to work as thermals as well. So you always have nice dinners on a cruise ship, and this velvet slow Sunday was perfect for this. Not only is it comfortable, but it didn't wrinkle in my luggage. So I loved this dress. I wore it twice. My favorite thing I packed on this trip was my Jenny crossover belt bag. Most days that I was off the ship, I actually had a pair of leggings on underneath my jeans, as well as a shirt, a sweater, a sweatshirt, and my rain jacket. So none of my outfits on off board were very fun. Now what we're looking at here is actually an eagle's nest, and it had some baby eagles in there. You can see the mom eagle moving around in there. Now this is my fall in love sweater and I just love it. I hacked it to have the full sleeves and I again paired it with a pair of leggings. This is a view in Canada over Victoria and it is beautiful. This outfit is a jasmine jogger made out of some sweater knit fabric as well as the Lisa bubble hem with a nice polka dot fabric. So this was probably my favorite part of this trip is seeing a humpback whale feeding. It was so cool and I was so excited that I got a film of it. For my comfortablest outfit that I packed is the Not So Basic pants and also the High Hopes dolman, and I love this combo. Look how gorgeous these flowers are at Pike's Market. I thought I'd find a lot of fish, but not beautiful flowers. And here is the city of Seattle when we finally got off the ship.
Isn't it so beautiful there? Oh my goodness, I still can't get over we saw a whale. Not only did we see a whale, but we actually saw a lot of bald eagles, otters, sea lions, seals. It was amazing. But what was also amazing is how
Oversized tee.
he was able to hack to fit everybody in my family. My 13-year-old daughter wanted to have longer sleeves. She thrifted this sweatshirt a while ago and she just loved how the sleeves fit. So she wanted to recreate that. And then I thought it'd be fun to have in a little elastic waist to kind of give it a little shorter fill. And so we decided the oversized tee would be perfect. But looking at the pattern, it was kind of straight fit. So I'm like, maybe this would be perfect for my husband as well as my son. Now, when you're dealing with a curvy pattern, it's drafted for a 5'5" frame. So you do have to make adjustments to fit a taller frame like my husband. So we had to elongate the arms as well as the waist. So I'm going to show you how to do those types of hacks to make sure it has a perfect fit for everyone. And then I'm going to show you my favorite pattern, and that's the Fall in Love. I know I have a closet full of these, but it doesn't stop me from making more because I feel this pattern was made for me, and I bet you feel the same way too. So when I decided what souvenir I wanted another Fall in Love sweater. Let me show you all the details.
These are the 4 patches we're making these hoodies for. This is my daughter's hoodie that we're starting with first. We're cutting at the regular cut line. She's 5'2", but she wanted a little bit longer on the sleeves. I call these party of 5 sleeves. If you're around my age, you know exactly what I mean. And so she wanted a little extra length, but I didn't want to add bulk around her middle of her arms, so that's why we added the length at the bottom. My daughter was actually such a trooper through this. She helped me sew all of these hoodies up. I've been teaching her some sewing classes with a friend, and so she's able to put all those skills together, and she's been doing really great at the serger and at the sewing machine. I can't believe how much she's learned in such a short time. Now that we have the longer sleeves already sewed up, we put them inside of our arm side and with right sides together, and we clipped all the way around the armhole. I showed her exactly how to put it in, and she clipped it, and then I sewed on the sleeves. I love how she remembers to clip when I forget. She's doing such a great job. Now, one of my favorite things about the oversized tee is that there's so many options. It goes far beyond just a t-shirt. Like here we are making a hoodie, but you can make a crop top with it. There's so many different neck options, and this hoodie option I think is one of the cutest. It is just, my son loves it. He loves how much it covers his face, so if he's in colder temperatures, and my daughter just thought it was really cute. The funniest thing about sewing these together is we were eating lunch and my daughter went downstairs and I was talking to my husband, and all of a sudden I heard this crazy noise. I'm like, oh my goodness, what in the house broke? And he said, honey, he goes, don't you know that that's the serger running? I had never heard my serger from upstairs. And so to hear my daughter sew downstairs actually scared me. I did not realize how much noise I make in my house every time I'm sewing. Here's a quick fit test from my daughter without the bands on her sleeves. Up next was cutting my son's hoodie out, and he's 5'2" right now, but I actually didn't shorten the length of the arms because his arms are pretty long, as well as I didn't shorten the length of the torso. I just cut a straight extra small oversized tee, and it ended up working out perfect. Here I'm adding the bands for his sleeves, and as you can see, they stretched right on. Up next was my husband's, and to make sure I had the right size, instead of actually measuring my husband, I took his favorite hoodie and I laid it down on the pattern, and I picked what size would fit him best. I actually went a size larger than I normally would, and then I measured the sleeves. I made sure that the underarm was where I needed it to be, and then I measured the length. I needed to add 3 inches onto this pattern because it was drafted for a frame of 5'5". Now what you're doing here is you're going to cut out from the sleeve lengthen adjustment line, and then you're going to cut all the way along the top of your fabric. And from here, you're going to need to get your chalk out or your marking pen. And then I took my handy quilting square and I measured down 3 inches, marking in chalk. And then I took my fabric and I brought it up to the sleeve lengthen adjustment line. And then I finished cutting out the rest of my sleeve. Now you're gonna have to kind of ease this in, but once you do, it ends up fitting perfectly. And don't stress too much about those lines not lining up at first. Once you grade it on, it will fit perfectly, I promise. Instead of adding length to the torso, I actually decided to add a band. So I decided to add 5 inches. And for this band, I measured it an inch shorter than the bottom of the shirt. So that's taking 2 inches out so I could stretch it on and give more of a hoodie look to it. I didn't want it too tight. I wanted it to resemble his favorite hoodie. And this worked out perfectly. Adding bands is just a great way to give it a little bit more length without lengthening the whole garment. And up next was my favorite. I decided I would wear the Fall in Love more than I would wear a hoodie. It's just my preference, and this is one of my favorite ones. And I thought it would be so great to cut it for this Alaska iron-on patch because I definitely know I'll get some use out of it because it's already a pattern that I wear all the time. My favorite part of this making our souvenirs at home was definitely working with my daughter. She was so much fun, and she was sewing my husband's while I was working on mine, and we would switch back and forth when I needed to add the hoodie on, and she would assemble the sleeves, assemble the bodice. It was just so much fun. I just hope we can do more projects like this in the future. So here is my Fall in Love neckband, and I'm quartering it and clipping it so I can add it on like I normally would with a normal t-shirt. So it's 2 inches wide, and I'm also going to line it up with the edge of my serger when I serge. My daughter's choice was the swell, and it went so nicely with her fabric. My son wanted the wolf, of course, and again, it was a perfect pick. And this is my husband's with the Alaska sign on it. And then I cannot stop looking at this moose. I thought it was adorable, and it's still cute. And these are our hoodies all finished up. What do you think? Here's my son in his wolf hoodie. He loves this hood. I think it looks so good on him. It's the perfect fit, and I would have never guessed how nicely this would fit. And my daughter, here is her favorite hoodie that she has ever made. She loves to have the elastic waistband as well as a drop shoulder, and this hood just looks so adorable on her. Here's my husband's hoodie, and as you can see, the arms fit him perfectly, as well as the rest of the hoodie. This is going to be one he's going to love to wear. And finally, here is my Fall in Love sweater. This was, again, so much fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you keep trying making some souvenirs at home once you get back. This was such a great experience.